Hey guys, so I had a meet up over in Kuala Lumpur last night, and why aren't I bloody looking at the camera? So I had focus this, get everything right. So I had a meet up last night in Kuala Lumpur in Starbucks down at the club, and had a bunch of entrepreneurs there, and we were talking about the business models, their ideas, and the focus of the session was very much on the problems that entrepreneurs face, or rather, not the problems that entrepreneurs face, but the problems that the customers face. So I had, I think, 4 or 5 people, and they came to me and they said, "This is what I want to do." And then the first guy up said, "I'm creating an app to help restaurants in Vietnam." The second one said, "We're creating a new routing system to help with urban congestion." The third one says, "I'm going to run a pet shop." The fourth one, I couldn't understand what he was talking about. It was something to do with digital marketing. The point was, what were all these people saying? They came in, started talking to me about the solutions that they had got. They'd intuited that there was something wrong, that there was a market opportunity, that there was a space to play with. Then they'd gone straight into the solution. What we really need to do as entrepreneurs is really focus on what is the problem that we're solving. So the first piece of advice that I gave to my chat from Vietnam was to say, okay, who have you spoken to? How many people who potentially have the problem that you're solving have you gone out and spoken to? And he spoke to one restaurant owner, which was really, really good. He needed, though, to go out and talk to another 20 or 30 restaurant owners to get a sense that had he got the right problem, had he understood it properly, did he know the shape of the problem? And he hadn't actually spoken to that's an interesting new neologism. He hadn't actually spoken to anyone who would be interested in buying the food off his platform. Likewise with my infrastructure guys, they'd had the idea and they were starting to work out technically how to make it and deliver it. So the first thing is get out there and talk to people. So one of the ways that I like to think about this is in the business model canvas, you've got this part of the canvas that is focused on the value proposition. Now, instead of just thinking of this as a flat piece of paper, I like to think of it as one of those children's toys. So you know the ones that you give to 1 and 2 year old children. They're a squarish box with lots of funny coloured shapes in it, the holes in the side of the box. And then the children are given an oblong, a square, a triangle, a circle, a ball. And then they have to figure out which shape goes through, or which object goes through which shaped hole. To a large extent, as entrepreneurs, you're in exactly the same position as those children. First of all, you've got your market, which is your wooden box. Then you've got all the shapes, all the holes in this wooden box, all differently shaped. These are the problems in the market that need to be solved. Some are going to be very nice, simple shapes. They're going to be round or square, and lots of other people are going to be slotting their solutions into those shapes. Yeah. And if you try and do that, you're going to be in a little bit of a red market full of competition, because lots of other people are going to be trying to slot their square-shaped solutions into the square-shaped holes. What you're instead looking for, you're looking for the odd-shaped holes that nobody has spent the time or effort or money to come up with a solution for. And you can plop those in, and bingo. You've managed to find sort of a nice little bit of product market fit. And this is really important, because if you go out like the guys I was talking to tonight would have done, and like the vast majority of entrepreneurs I speak to, they go out and they start carving away, make their little wooden shapes, their spheres, their balls, their octagonal cubes, their bits that look like super cool origami, and then they go out into the marketplace and they look for a hole, and then they try and put these odd shaped things into a different shaped hole, and it doesn't work. And that is one of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs fail. And indeed, when you come on to larger companies, why larger companies fail with so many of their new products and services, because there isn't that need, there isn't that pain. The second thing that I did with the entrepreneurs last night is to get them to really drill down into the problems that the customers were facing. So when we're talking about the infrastructure guys, the question was, okay guys, so what is the problem you're solving? And they said something along the lines of, people don't like spending time in traffic. Okay, do I have that problem? Actually, I quite like it because it means I get away from my wife and it's before I get to work. So for that little bit of time, I have some free time. So to me, it's not a problem. But I see a lot of other people, it is a problem. But why is it a problem? Well, I got to have this dead time. So whilst I get to work, I'd much rather be at work or having a sleep in. Why do you want to be at work sooner? So I can spend more time there. Why do you want to spend more time there? So I can make more money. Why do you want to make more money? So that I can spend more time with my family, so I can buy my wife things. Why do I want to buy my wife beautiful things? To demonstrate my love for her. Why do I want to demonstrate my love for her? Because I want her to love me, because I'm insecure and needy. And diving down into the psychological needs of your users suddenly gives you a far richer and deeper understanding of the nature of the hole that you're trying to fill. Now, the example I gave you was a bit rushed, it was a bit cliched, but a lot of our needs, our wants that come from the problems that we have are related to these ideas of power, of status, of emotional needs, and it's often sex even, and it's understanding what is underneath there so that you're really solving the pain that people feel in their hearts. And this is always a great exercise, that you go out and you say, why is this a problem? Why is this a problem? Why is this a problem? Keep drilling down until you can't go any further, then maybe go sideways. So you're actually going out and mapping the problems that the entrepreneurs are facing that the customers are facing in a very obsessive, very focused manner. And this can really transform your possibilities of success. So there's one guy I know in Indonesia. He's last I heard, his startup was now making over $100 million a year in sales, and he went out and he spoke to over 400 potential customers before he even came up with a solution. 400 people just to understand the problem. So that's at least 1,000, maybe 2,000 hours. That's pretty much six months full time. The amount of effort that he put in to understand that problem in detail before he made the solution is a key and critical component of his success. Back in my life, I went out and I remember I did a startup in triathlon, and my idea of market research was hiring a marketing company to ring 20 of my friends, because I was too embarrassed and ashamed to do it myself, and I didn't want to hear negative things. I got great feedback from the marketing company because they obviously wanted my work. My friends wanted me to succeed, and it was all bullshit. So I started off and I built a solution on tissue paper, and as soon as it started raining, the tissue paper ripped. My business just went poof, disappeared into the great morass, and I spent another 3 years trying to figure out how to get it to work on totally shit foundations. So this is really the first thing that you need to do. And again, it definitely applies for businesses at almost all stages of their life cycle, because in the world that we are today, we've got so many changes, so many threats to businesses, technological, social, demographic, regulatory change, that just keep on going backwards on a regular basis. What are the problems that we are trying to solve? What really hurts the customers? What are they prepared to pay for? What are they not prepared to pay for? Understand this, and once you understand this, then everything else becomes far more easier. So thanks for listening today. I know this was a little bit of an impromptu session. If you tuned in, that's great. If not, enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please press like. Head over to dennis-oatley.com and do spread the word. Thanks for listening. See you around. How do I end this? Where's my mouse? Aha, this works.